what we've seen over time is that as the social video platforms have matured, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and emerging platforms like TikTok, media companies have gone more all in. I think that the likes of CNN and Fox, I was looking at their day, they receive like 200 to 300 million views a month now, pretty much driven majority by YouTube. But like a few years ago, it was hard to get those platforms to even upload on YouTube or Facebook. And yeah, and I think another trend just like feeding into that is the big massive trend of moving to subscription models for these media companies. They're now seeing more value in these platforms, not just from a direct monetization standpoint, but also as a marketing vehicle for subscriptions. Netflix obviously has always been the leader in this. The Crown is an example I was watching in the last week or two, and the amount of supporting content Netflix upload on YouTube now around this, like Diana's background and all of this supporting material. So I think a big trend we're seeing is that media companies are embracing social video more, and they're seeing more value there, not just from a sales standpoint, like selling advertising, but from a marketing standpoint as well. Ever since I've worked in online video now, which is over like about 10 years ago, I started first working in the online video space. Measurement's always been an issue, but it's like when something becomes big enough, then it becomes an even bigger issue. And with measurement now, we've gotten to a critical point where online video viewership is massive, and Tubular's come into this space to help media companies for the first time understand that true reach and engagement. Which when you talk to brands about building brands, it's all about reach and frequency. So I think that that is becoming critical for media companies to truly talk to the market about their size of audiences, deduplicated by country, by gender, by age. That is a first. And that is also helping these media companies, mostly from a sales standpoint, really talk to the market about how big is their brand and who they're reaching. I think something I hosted a webinar with BBC recently where they talked about minutes watched and unique viewers are key metrics for them, especially minutes watched for actually growing audiences. And they look at building their brand in these ecosystems. And they give value to their audiences in social video, but it's really that ecosystem of like the BBC player and bringing audiences into that, where they can get those audiences and get the most value. But I think an example like BBC, we're helping them truly understand how large are the audiences in online video, for a market opportunity for their own digital offering in online video, owned and operated. And then we're helping these media companies, whether it is grow audiences, mostly by minutes watched and view time, which is a metric that we've modeled out for millions of uploaders. But then when you actually have an audience, telling people the actual size of that. If someone consumes a piece of online video as a consumer, you just want to consume it with ease anywhere from any device at any time, and on demand. And I think that experience is happening around the world. And I think consumers expect it and demand it from platforms. I think we've seen in the launch of Disney Plus as an example, not only is their content so important, and I think you can see that they're probably now feeling a bit more comfortable. I know they announced recently that they're not going to pay a dividend in the second half of next year, I think it is. So, and their stock price has gone up because they're investing for the future. So they're now investing in content and investing in tech. But the reason I bring that up is just with Disney Plus, when I use both platforms right now, the ease of use of Netflix cross-device and everything, I think Disney Plus is getting there as well. And I think that is something consumers are demanding and wanting. But with that, it's more fragmented audiences and measurement is more challenging. So for measurement in this age, you really need to look at like fragmented audiences and understanding where they're consuming cross devices, cross platform. And that's something that we've been focused on at Tubular with the two biggest platforms that are really the two biggest AVOD platforms in the world for online video, Facebook and YouTube, understanding how large those audiences are, deduplicating them across platform and starting there, and ideally going to other environments, not just on YouTube and Facebook, but other platforms, to really see total reach. But I think that's the way that you can see apples to apples for these audiences across these platforms. To the point about like, as more subscription services, whether that be Spotify or whether it be Disney Plus or Netflix, let's just think about Spotify and Netflix first of all. Like on Spotify, you're seeing them acquire Joe Rogan. That deal is going to go exclusive at the end of this year. So all of his content is right now up on YouTube and Spotify. They made a smart decision there of not doing it straight away because they got to educate the Joe Rogan audience that this is going to happen. It's going to move exclusively to Spotify. It won't be straight away though. We need to market to you for about 3 to 6 months first for you to love the Spotify brand and then upgrade to subscription on Spotify behind that paywall, which is going to happen the end of this year. So I think you're seeing the likes of Spotify, Netflix. So some of their biggest content right now is they're really beefing up the kid space. They've done a massive deal with that company Moonbug, who owns Coco Melon and some others that are like the biggest channels on YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, we see for minutes watched through our new measurement solution, Coco Melon is like one of the top 5 on a monthly basis for minutes watched. And now it's appearing on Netflix's top 10. What's interesting is I think we're seeing now as well that like Netflix has become such a big platform that something like Coco Melon isn't exclusive to Netflix, but as a consumer, you expect it to be there.